Hello, my fans, sneak peepers, and curious friends. I'm difficult and demanding. If you want to know my real name, then hold still, and I might bring your wish to fruition. Before I begin, you can find this show in iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Google Play Music, TuneIn, YouTube, and Stitcher. Now, unlike the other people in your life, I actually care about what you think, what you don't think, and what you try not to think about. Welcome to the Difficult and Demanding Show. I'm real, uncensored, unconventional, and shoot straight between the eyes. My show is outrageously honest with a keenly witty view into life. Yes, I said life. That's what we do every single day. We are living life. Well, some of us at least. I'm going to provide laughter, shock, while touching your inner being. Maybe your body if you're lucky. Why do I call myself difficult and demanding? Well, first, because I can. 2, because I'm not supposed to. 3, this is the most important point. It only means something if I give life to it. So, I'm going to slowly unveil you to you and give you a new life to live. Difficult and demanding is going to liberate every part of your being and maybe your body. I, your host Tara, am keeping it authentic, intriguing, and provocative. If you have entered my world, then be honest with yourself about it. You want to be here, and you know I want you here. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you've had a wonderful week. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and get started. So what I want to focus on this week is, why do we argue and fight? And more specifically, why do we argue and fight and stay in relationships where there is a lot of arguing and fighting? Well, you're probably saying, look, difficult and demanding, why do you think we argue and fight? We argue and fighting because there's a disagreement, there's a miscommunication, there's some form of lies. The reasons why we argue and fight are endless, it's countless. It depends on the person, the personality, so many different history, factors, experiences, circumstances, whatever. But I want to peel beyond that. Like, why? For those of you who are in relationships that have a lot of arguing and fighting, and you stay in that relationship, I'm asking you, why? Why do we stay in relationships where there's a lot of arguing and fighting? And some of us seem to think that when there's arguing and fighting, there's passion behind that, right? It's passion because after you make up, you get to fuck each other's brains out and everything is much, much better. And then there's some people who have no arguing and no fighting, and they pride themselves on that relationship. But I don't want to focus on that because that's basically the opposite of what I'm talking about today. One may or may not be better than the other. So if you're in a relationship where you have no arguing and fighting, that's a different conversation for a different day. What I'm talking to you today about is, why argue and fight? Why stay in a relationship where there's continuous, countless, endless, long, drawn out, multi-day, for some of you, multi-week, multi-month fighting? Some of the shit is significant. Some of it is insignificant. That's not even my focus. I want to know why we choose to endure that. Why? Why? So then my brain starts working. I start trying to think, peel back the layers, peel back the layers, peel back the layers. I don't argue and fight with everyone that I see. I don't argue and fight with everyone. So why do I, or would I, stay and argue and fight with a particular person or a particular group. Why this person? Why would I do that? Why argue and fight? Why continuously argue and fight? Because it's clear both of us can't get along. It's clear we're not on the same vibration, the same wavelength. Why? Why would I put myself through that over and over and over again? Anger, frustration, disrespect, hurt, not feeling heard, misunderstood. Like, why would I do that over and over and over again, month after month, day after day, year after year? And what comes to mind is that I have something to prove to that particular person or group. Listen to what the hell I said. If you're arguing and fighting, that means you fucking care. Because if you don't care, you don't waste your time. So if you're fighting with someone over and over and over again, arguing and fighting, that means you care. Now, what you care about, we're going to dive into that. But you care about something. You care about something so much that you are wasting your precious time and energy fighting over some bullshit. Why would you do that? Why would you continually do that to yourself? And one thing I would say, you have something to prove to that person. You want some form of validation from that person. But on the other hand, you are seeking validation for yourself on some level. So you're looking for the other person to validate you, but you're also looking to validate yourself by arguing with that person. I've confused you. Good, because I've slightly confused myself, but we're going to work through this here. I said you're seeking validation. Why would I keep having the same fight, the same argument with the same person over and over and over again? It angers me, it upsets me, it drains me, it messes up my creative flow, it messes with my fucking sex drive, it does all these different things to me, yet I keep doing it. Why? Because if it's that important to me, I should be arguing with every motherfucker that I see, but I don't argue with every person I see. No, I don't. But I'm arguing with this person. What wound have they opened? What demon have they unleashed? What has that person brought to life, brought out of the shadows that makes you want to keep fighting with them? Because I believe if someone gets the fuck on your nerves and you can't get along, clearly you probably should not be in one another's life. Yet we argue, we fight, we argue, we fight, we argue, we fight. Because on some level we're taught this is what happens in relationships. You argue and you fight. Arguing and fighting is completely different than having a disagreement. Because with arguing and fights, there's some disrespect there. There's some disrespect. It may be subtle for some. It may be full out verbal blows for others. But there's disrespect. Why do we engage in behaviors or mannerisms that are disrespectful to our well-being? Most relationships, they start out great. They start out wonderful. That's why we want them. That's why we want to be in them. But eventually, colors come out. True colors come out. And some of those goddamn colors you don't like. But no one's perfect. So we do our best to love, to be loved. We do our best to say we're giving unconditional love. But you and I both know it's not unconditional love. Because if it was unconditional love, what the fuck are you arguing and fighting about? You'd be working on ways to find peace. Instead, we're working on ways to feel heard. We're working on ways to stamp our views, our beliefs, our ways, our experiences on another person. Right? We confuse conditional and unconditional love. Because if we can convince this one person of our truth, of our perspective, of our perception, then we won, right? So we argue, we argue, fight, dishwasher, trash, chores, kids, money, fucking, friends, dating, social life, work, career, school. We fight, we argue, we fight, we argue, we fight. What the fuck have we signed ourselves up for? And why? Why do we believe this is what life is about? Why do we believe this is what relationships about? Why do we believe that this is what love is about? No, this shit is fucking, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And we don't even realize the sheer audacity of how ludicrous the situation is because we are in the situation and we can't see any other way out. And the people around us are going through the same thing, bickering, arguing, fighting, bickering, arguing, fighting. Why waste your time? If I told you you had 10 minutes to fucking live, and in those 10 minutes, you can either live your life to the fullest, or you can keep acting like a monkey ass fool and wasting your time on some bullshit. Tell me how you gonna live your life. Are you gonna keep arguing with the same motherfucker that you're in a relationship with? Huh? Over the dishwasher, the trash, the fucking dust, the vacuuming, all this. You gonna waste the last 10 minutes of your life arguing with this person? Or are you gonna say, fuck you, I'm done with this shit. I got 10 minutes to live. I'm gonna live my life to the fullest. I know what I said is very dramatic, but that's difficult and demanding. But I'm not trying to. I am illustrating a point. You have 10 minutes left to live in that fine ass body of yours. Are you going to waste the last 10 minutes of your life arguing with that son of a bitch that you're in a relationship with? Or are you going to say, deuces, motherfucker, I'm out. Let me find somebody else who I can do whatever with that makes me happy for the last 10 minutes in my life? You never thought about it that way, did you? No, because we think that life doesn't end. We think that there is just an endless amount of energy and opportunities and experiences that will wait for us. Yes, we think life is going to wait for us while we muddle and waddle our way through some fucking bullshit and wasting our time. Now, just because something used to work doesn't mean it has to work today. It doesn't mean it's going to work fucking tomorrow. So when something stops working, which is your relationship, which is your communication, yes, you put a lot of time into it. Try to work on it. Try to make it better. I understand. That makes sense. But at some point, if it's not working and you keep trying, I'm going to have to question your goddamn sanity. Yes, we outgrow people, places, and things. And I am trying to share with all of you that when you outgrow it, it's time for you to release it to someone else and you can move on to your upgraded version. You're saying that's cold and calculated. Look, cold and calculated or brilliant. Like I said, you have 10 minutes to live your life. How are you going to spend it? Trying to fix something that is clearly broken? Or being graceful and appreciative and letting it go because it's more suited. That person's more suited for someone else and you move on. You see, but fear rules our bloody lives. We are prisoners of fear. We are fearful of what other people think about us. We are fearful about what other people are going to say about us. We are fearful of looking at ourselves and seeing what we see. We're fearful. Fear keeps us arguing and fighting over things that are really insignificant. They're irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And if it's bothering you that much, and the person that you supposedly love, you care about, and they supposedly love and care about you, if they're not willing, able, or ready to make those changes, to make you happy, to make you feel better, I'm asking you, why are you wasting your goddamn time? Listen to what I said. You guys love each other, but you're fighting over bullshit. And you're fighting over real shit. You're fighting over a whole bunch of different types of shit. And you keep just going at it. Most days, some days, it doesn't matter. You're going at it. you love each other. Why do you have to keep asking the person you love to not do something? Why do you have to keep asking the person you love to be considerate towards you? Why are you asking the person you love to be appreciative of you? Why are you asking the person you love to be respectful of you? Why are you asking the person you love for basic shit? Right? Basic compassion, love, respect, understanding, appreciation. And it may translate out to taking out the garbage, doing the dishwasher, giving you a break from the children. Girls' night out, boys' night out, whatever. But the fact of how it comes to us, it doesn't matter. It's the same basic things. We want to feel safe. We want to feel secure. We want to feel understood. We want to feel loved. We want to feel vulnerable. We want to feel desired. We want to feel appreciated. Right? But if you're arguing, fighting, clearly you don't feel those things. And the more you argue and fight, it's clear there's a big fucking gap in what you need and what you're receiving. Now, the arguing, fighting, that's just a nice distraction from what the real issue is. Now, some of you may go to therapy. Some of you may vow to change. Whatever. None of it's working. Yet, you stay in that relationship. I asked you, you got 10 minutes to live. How are you going to live it? You going to keep fighting with the fucker that you're with? Or are you going to move on with someone else and try to enjoy the last 9.5 minutes of your goddamn life? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because if you love me, I wouldn't have to ask, beg, plead, nag, bitch to get you to show me some respect, to get you to show me some appreciation, to get you to show me some love. No. Let me tell you what I learned the hard way. If I got to ask you for some shit that is, it should already be clear and understood. If I got to ask you for it, then you are not the right person for me. You see, I'm not here to build a fucking bear. What that means is I'm not here to build a man. I'm not here to build a woman. Either you got it or you don't, or you will or you won't. We always think that we can contort, we can change, we can just, massage, make someone into something that we need or want. You can't make a motherfucker into anything. The only person that you can make better is you. And how do you make yourself better? Well, you make better decisions. Your better decisions allow you to have better experiences and more suitable people in your life. I wish I would waste my life anymore arguing and fighting over someone for asking for some essential basics as a human being. As the love of your life, there's some things that are mandatory. They're non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. If you want to fuck with me. Now, everyone has their own standards. But I'm saying I'm not wasting my time arguing and fighting with anyone over anything. You're saying difficult and demanding? How is that possible? You have disagreements? Yes, having a disagreement is one thing. Not being able to come to an agreement over a disagreement is something else. But arguing and fighting, I'm not doing that shit. Because what that means to me is you are not the right motherfucker for me. You're not for me. And I am not for you. So it's easier for me to move the hell on as soon as possible than to give you my precious years of my life, my energy. No, I won't do that. I don't care what history we've shared. I don't care what obstacles we have overcome. When it stops working, then guess what? It has stopped working. Bye. It's been real. It's over. And I know those of you who are listening to me, I've hit a nerve because you never thought about that way. I have 10 minutes to live. Am I going to sit here and finish arguing with this son of a bitch? Or do I going to say, you know what? I'm done. I've given you time. It's not working. I wish you the best. I'll always have love in my heart for you, but I'm moving on. Next. Right? It's all about how you view life. But fear keeps us banging our head up against a brick wall. Some of us grow tired, move on. Some of us just keep going at it like a goddamn woodpecker. Peck, 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 peck. You don't get anywhere. There's no growth. There's no excitement. There's no change. It's just bitterness, resentment, anger, disgust. It just, you're putting seeds in the ground of negativity. Yes, you have good days. Yes, you have bad days. But depending on the type of arguments and fights you're having, you should not invest any days in that. All of us on this earth are not going to vibe. We're not going to like each other's vibes. We're not going to like each other's vibrations. It's okay. Where the real wisdom and intelligence comes in is realizing that shit and stop trying to make something work that it's not. It's okay if something used to work and it no longer works. It's okay if it never goddamn worked. Why hold on to something that is beneath your caliber, that's lower than your worth? Now, I'm not saying that person you're with is worth less. No. What I'm saying is that they are not right for you. You think because you found them attractive, and you had great conversation in the beginning, that's how it's always going to be? No. Just like the seasons change, the date changes, our weight changes, the length of our hair changes, everything changes. And you have to be able to realize that and know when to hold on and when to let go. But we hold on no matter what because it shows, it's like, I don't know why we hold on to things like there's nothing else out there for us. Yes, we act like goddamn beggars when it comes to love. You are here on this earth in this body because you are priceless. You are precious. So how can something priceless and precious be so foolish? Be so fearful? You are meant to love and be loved, yet you act like there's no one there on this earth that will ever love you again. I've told you guys before, if you found one, you'll find another one. You'll find another one. You'll find another one. You just got to know where to look. Why act like a beggar? Kings and queens are not beggars. And I'm telling all of you, you are kings, you are queens, you are gods, you are goddesses. They don't beg. No. They clear the goddamn court and make space for those things and people who are worthy of their presence. Listen to what I said. Listen to what I said. Kings and queens are not beggars. Gods and goddesses are not beggars. They make space for things and people that are good for them, that help them be the best they can be, that help them grow and be the best version of themselves. How is arguing and fighting with someone over the same shit over and over again helpful to you? How is it helpful to you? Tell me, what do you gain? What do you get? You're frustrated. You're disappointed. You're disgusted. And the other person probably feels the same way if they haven't checked the fuck out and stopped listening to you. Why do we think we need to settle? Oh, because you don't want to go through having to date, having to get to know other people, go through all that. So you'd rather sit where you are, miserable, unhappy, unfulfilled, than for you to go explore all the abundance and bounty there is in this world? How can you deny yourself happiness? How can you deny yourself pleasure? How can you deny yourself passion? Why would you ever shortchange yourself? Have you ever heard a king or queen saying, I don't want any more gold. I want you to stop taxing people because I don't want any more gold. No. We're supposed to have all the abundance, the love, the joy, the happiness, the bliss, the sex, whatever you want. We're supposed to have all that in our life. Yet, we restrict ourselves. We cut ourselves off from having that out of fear. Fear of the unknown. Right? Fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown as far as being happy. But you also have a fear of the unknown also. Because the longer you argue and fight with a person, staying in a relationship that is not good for you or the other person, there's an unknown factor there. Because there's so many different ways, so many different directions that your relationship can roll or spawn off to. It can get really angry, nasty, and bitter. Someone may end up cheating. Someone may end up getting hurt. Someone may end up checking the fuck out on you, and you are in a relationship by yourself. You're scared of the unknown? You can't possibly be scared of the unknown, because even if you're in a relationship with someone and you're arguing, fighting, there's a lot of unknown factors there. You think because you know that you know? No, just because you think you know, you don't know. You don't know where that relationship can take you. And you only have so many years. Why lose the best years of your life over something that's clearly not worth your while? You're not scared because at least you know this person. You're with them. You're familiar with them. Let me tell you some real shit. You think you know someone, but you don't know them because we barely know ourselves. And depending on what circumstances life presents you, you will get to see different facets of who you are as a person. So if you are not able to see all that you are as a person, because those different facets actually show up depending on circumstances and environment, there's no possible way that you can know another human being. Why do you think when some people go through relationships, they have children, they get divorced, they see how mean and nasty everything turns, and they look back saying, how did this happen? Where did the love go? Where did the respect go? Where did the compassion, where did it all go? Well, where it went out the fucking window and down the goddamn toilet. Because some point in that relationship, seeds were being planted of disrespect, of disdain, of disgust. Yeah, they were being planted. And then they slowly started to blossom over time into different things. And then you find out that, you're in this battle when it doesn't need to be nasty. It doesn't need to be nasty. So if you're scared of the unknown, you are also in the unknown when it comes to arguing, fighting with this person. You don't need to argue and fight. And if you can't communicate with one another, then maybe you shouldn't be communicating at all. What do you think about that? If you can't communicate with one another, hear one another, understand one another, then clearly there's a communication issue. Now you may work to improve that communication, but if that's not working, or if only one person is working at it, I'm asking you, why are you wasting your time? You're too fucking hot to be wasting your goddamn time on some bullshit. Yes, too hot. If you're not too hot, get hot. I don't give a fuck. What I'm saying to you is, why waste your time? There's so much out there in life to explore, to enjoy. People you haven't met, people who can help you realize just so many amazing things about yourself. But you would never learn it or experience it until you step outside your box. You step outside your comfort zone. Now I'm asking all of you, stop arguing and fighting. When you say, well, we have kids. You don't want them to learn that. You want them to learn effective, healthy ways of engaging and connecting and resolving problems. You think I'm being unreasonable by saying we don't need to argue and fight. No, we don't need to argue and fight. Sometimes we can agree to disagree and say goodbye. Energy, your life force, is precious. There's only one of you. Each one of us is unique. That's why I said we're priceless. We're precious. You can't replicate me. I can't replicate you. There's only one of you. So if there's only one of you, and clearly the person you're with, you're not vibing with, why not share you, the beautiful, handsome version of you, with someone who can appreciate and understand you? Why? Why not? You have so much to offer, so much to share. Why waste it on someone or something that cannot begin to understand the blessing that you are? We must stop seeking the validation of others. We must stop trying to stamp our views, our beliefs on others. We have to stop confusing unconditional love and conditional love. We really do. Because when you love someone, we just leave them be. And they will naturally just grow and blossom to be the best version of themselves that they want to be. But if we are placing demands, limitations, restrictions, ultimatums on a person, that means they're not right for you. And they may have never been right for you. If you feel like you can never make that person happy, what you do is not good enough, that person's not for you. I don't know how much simpler, how much plainer I can put this into words. If two people cannot bring joy, respect, appreciation in each other's lives, then more than likely you're not right for one another. You may be used to one another, but you're not right for one another. And when you're not right for one another, there is discord. There is major discord. Life is hard enough navigating. Why sign yourself up for some shit that is voluntary? Yes, we have involuntary things that we go through life, and then we have voluntary things that we go through in life. And we as humans have this bad habit of volunteering for some bullshit and staying committed and loyal to it. And it takes a disaster, a catastrophe, or a bloody miracle for us to get our wits about us and move on and move into a different direction. I keep telling, and I'm going to keep saying, life is not meant to be that hard. You're supposed to learn, grow, move on, move upward, move onwards. Very simple. But when you're not willing to learn, which means you're not willing to grow, and when you're not willing to grow, you get stuck in a rut. And then you find that the same types of people and situations, they come to you. They're attracted to you. It's unavoidable to you. I'm asking all of you to make a vow, to make a commitment to yourself. If you're sick of arguing, you're tired of fighting, just stop. Come up with a plan. Come up with something to change the direction of your life, to change how you interact, to change who you're around, to change what you're around. Change it. Because the only person that can change it for you is you. If you're waiting for the other person to understand, to grow, to mature, to understand the hurt and the pain that they're causing you, if you're waiting for that to happen, I suggest you hold your breath. Yes, hold your breath. You know I said hold your breath because you will be dead before you know it and you'll put yourself out of your misery. There's only one or two ways you're going to put yourself out of misery. I'm sorry if I'm too straight. Either you change, you grow, you move on, and you move in a direction that makes you happy, or you hold your goddamn breath in hopes that that person or situation changes, and then you'll be out of your misery that way because you're going to croak from suffocation. I know I'm morbid and I'm straight to the point, but I'm for real. Life is meant to be happy. And if you can't do it for yourself, put yourself out of your fucking misery. I don't care how handsome, how beautiful a woman is, what she used to be, what he used to be. If they're not that today, that's your only problem. You can't live for yesterday. And you can't live for tomorrow. You have to enjoy and endure today. So if today is not working for you, and from looking at things, it looks like it's going to be the same shit for the few years, let it go. Let it flow. Let it go. Move the hell on. Move on. Because some of you are not getting any hotter or fucking younger. Some of you are getting older and getting hotter. Only you can ascertain where you are on the scale of goddamn hotness. Okay? But if you find that your hotness factor is diminishing, you may want to get off that boat, that ship, that train you're on and make the most of what you have to offer. So you can attract a plethora of options. hotness. Because if you wait until you run out of hotness factor, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to find what you're looking for. So I believe you should take a proactive approach instead of reactive approach. Now, all of us choose how we live our life. We choose it. But when I ask you why argue and fight, it's just something that popped in my mind, something I wanted to throw out there to you and give you guys something to think about. You don't need to spend your life arguing and fighting. You don't need to be combative. You don't have to be combative. You can choose to do so. But I'm saying you don't have to. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be harmonious. You can choose to have a peace of mind. I don't care how many kids, how many marriages, how many years, how many hardships, obstacles you've been through a person. If the shit ain't working, it is not working. It is not working. And it's okay if it's not working. Stop bad-mouthing that person. Stop talking shit about them, to them, from them, about. Stop talking shit about. Just let them go. If they can't make you happy and you can't make them happy, let them fucking go. Yes, have the balls, have the courage to let them go. Somebody got to grow a fucking spine and a pair of balls around here and say goodbye. This is not working. We all cannot be cowards. Fight for your right to be happy. Fight for your right to have peace. Fight for your right to have respect. Fight for your right to have compassion. Support, appreciation, validation. Fight for this shit. No one's going to give it to you. Demand it. Command it. So you may have it. Because if you don't expect it, you will not receive it. If you expect it, you will receive it. Because if the motherfucker that's in your face cannot and will not give it to you, you know exactly what you need to do. You need to tell that person, bye, goodbye, thank you, next. So this is all I have for you guys this week. Please join me next week, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Until the next time. Are you disappointed this has come to an end? Well, it doesn't have to. Reach out and follow me on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding, and let me know what you think about this episode and my show. Episode 90 will be here Thursday, May 14, 2020 from Difficult and Demanding.